Hi everybody, this is Dan Stolbarger. Welcome to this week's KFIR Middle East Update. We're going to look back over the last week, it's December 12th at this time, but let's take a look at our news bites. And just a reminder, make sure you grab the PDF PowerPoint that accompanies this presentation. Always much more information there than we have time on this YouTube. So what's going on in Israel? Well, no big surprise. Let's take a look at the United Nations General Assembly. They decided with a resounding 149-6 vote last Wednesday that Israel must give up all of its nuclear weapons. I wonder who the six were. I know the US, I know Canada, I think Singapore, but anyhow, that ain't going to happen. Kanye West, again, voted now the leading contender and the winner of the Anti-Semite of the Year award. But his rants, unfortunately, are bringing white supremacists and black hate groups together around a common cause. And what's that cause? Hatred of the Jewish people. Fatah, remember, in Israel, there's Hamas, there's the PIJ, the Palestinian jihadists, and there's Hamas. Of the three, the one that's supposed to be the peace partner is Fatah. That's Mahmoud Abbas or Abu Mazen's party. It just went on record to record it's bragging that it murdered 20 Israelis in 2022 and that 90% of the terrorists or martyrs, as they shaheeds, were Fatah members. That's the peace partner. I always like to end the news bites on a bit of an upper, not a downer. So at the Abrahamic Accords confab, Likud member Danon, who's the former envoy of the UN for Israel, basically comes out and says that Saudi peace, Saudis becoming a member of the Abrahamic Accords will happen within the next year. So we'll follow that and see when that actually takes place. That's going to be huge, believe me. Okay, this week's articles, Benny Gantz, the outgoing defense minister, has gone on record basically to say that he's concerned about a sudden escalation in the West Bank and in Gaza, and he's ordered the IDF to prepare for problems, issues, uprisings. Gantz also stressed that Israel needs to continue fighting terrorism, but has to find a way to strengthen the Palestinian Authority. That's Fatah, because according to Gantz, they are on the brink of collapse. And it's sort of like who would fill that vacuum other than even more radicals, that being Hamas or the Palestinian jihadists. Israel is warning Beirut, Lebanon, that if Iran tries to airlift weaponry to Hezbollah, that Israel will bomb the Beruit International Airport. Again, keep in mind, Israel has been bombing the airport in Damascus because that was the route that Iran was using to attempt to get weapons to Hezbollah. And so this is a major issue. And Israel's going on record to say, we're watching, and if we find that there are arms being smuggled, we will bomb the airport. I mentioned Mahmoud Abbas or Abu Mazen his comments, and again, these are the comments from the peace partner, right? The milder of the bunch. Abbas said on Wednesday in a rare interview that he is opposed to taking up arms against Israel. But he goes on and he says, but I might change my mind. Quote, I do not support armed Palestinian resistance, but that could change. It could change. It could change tomorrow or the next day or some other time. Everything changes. That's what Abbas told the Saudis' news station. And he rationalized that the recent violence is the reason why. It's all Israel's fault, obviously. And that's the reason why for his statements. And then we have Fatah. Now let's talk about Hamas. It's Hamas's 35th anniversary, birthday, whatever you want to call it. And, they're going to get the opportunity to rattle their sabers. And so Hamas is vowing to liberate Jerusalem on their 35th birthday this year. Hamas has been in control of the Gaza Strip since 2007 when it overthrew Fatah. And they're having a major rally on December 14th and to celebrate their anniversary. And it comes at a time where Hamas appears to be very strong, popular, defiant as ever. And this rally is going to take place in Gaza City. Again, the threat is we will never put down our swords. We will free Jerusalem. We will liberate Palestine. And again, even in the Hamas charter, you have to understand, none of the Palestinians recognize the right of Israel to exist as a state. But in the Hamas charter, it's much more violent than that. Okay, to the death. And so, you remember the old Crosby, Stills, and Nash Ton, teach your children well. I want you to know what the Palestinian Media Watch has uncovered. These are comments, sections of Palestinian textbooks. Okay, and you see the pictures there. Again, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. After the Zionist invaders will go to the garbage can of history because the period of Zionism will eventually pass. At the last step, the Jewish settlers in Palestine will disappear. Another section, Israel must be destroyed because Jews, Israelis, are thieves who stole our land. They are Jewish invaders. They're foreigners from all the ends of the earth who did not know Palestine and did not live in Palestine, neither them nor their forefathers. Talk about revisionist history. And finally, since Jews have no rights, Palestinians have the right to wage an armed struggle to take back its stolen homeland. This is the only PA, Palestinian Authority, Fatah path, because the liberation of Palestine will only be achieved through, are you ready? Armed struggle. So that's the world that we live in. Again, should have reported this earlier, but Bibi Netanyahu has been given an extension of 10 days to form his government. There's a lot of discussion going on, a lot of rhetoric, a lot of threats. This will be undoubtedly the most extreme right-wing government that Israel has had. The question is, how do they moderate the extremists? And how does Bibi lead the country, not just for the right, but for all of Israel? So we're still waiting to see when this will take place, when it will be finalized, when Bibi will be sworn in. And as I've said over the last couple weeks, once that takes place, fasten your seatbelts. I think literally all hell is going to break loose in Israel. Again, having finished Bibi's book, highly recommend it. The bottom line in that book is there's 2 reasons for Bibi's return. Call it legacy, call it whatever, but after 700 pages of going through this, I know this. If we think fake news here in the States through CNN was bad, what Bibi's had to face with the Israeli media even trumps that. Okay? But Bibi's legacy is going to be to protect the Jewish nation. And that means for him to make sure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon. And that means for him a preemptive strike. And that's why I said, wait until he actually takes office and is sworn in, because I think that is coming. A preemptive strike on Iran. And then what will the wake of that be? The second thing, we've already talked about this from Danon, is that he wants to bring the Saudis into the Abrahamic Accord. Those are the 2 things that brought Bibi back. And so, again, the Middle East. We're heading there in February. Can't wait. We still have room. If you'd like to join us, you can get all the information on that upcoming trip mid-February on our website at holygroundexplorations.com. And that tour will be February 15th through the 24th, 2023. Hope you can join us. God bless. Shalom.